What is up, everybody? Back again with another grind time college pick'em. Couldn't get Nathan with me this week, but as you can see here, Nathan is in last place anyway, so his opinion isn't needed. Even though he did win week 9, I'm just kidding. Nathan will hopefully be back next week. I had midterms this week, so I couldn't schedule, so it's my fault that Nathan's not on. But anyway, here is what the grind time standings are looking at. Sean is still in first place. I'm on his tail, 10 points behind. Sean is almost 84th percentile, so he's actually doing pretty good, and he's 84th percentile with missing like 4 games on the year. He just didn't pick, so that's pretty impressive, actually. Chris is in third. Skiddly Whiffers coming in fourth, and Nathan is in last. Although he did win week 9, so he might be bouncing back. So let's get into what week is this? Week 10. So game 1 at the 1, I got Auburn over Texas A&M. This is kind of one of my upset picks of the week. I believe Texas A&M is favored by 4.5. But the reason I am doing this is because I think Texas A&M is getting way too much credit for. Hopefully this doesn't play. Please don't play. Okay, it's good. It's on mute. Okay, cool. I think Texas A&M is getting way too much credit for the Alabama win. That was a big win. But if you look through their schedule, that's kind of their only big win they've had. I do think Texas A&M has a good defense. They've shown that. And they have a really good running back in Isaiah Spiller. I just am not sold on their quarterback. They have a backup quarterback playing. And Auburn has been playing well. They beat Ole Miss. I thought they were going to lose to Ole Miss last week. They beat them pretty easily. They beat Arkansas pretty easily. And then they lost to Georgia, which Georgia's head and shoulders above everybody in the SEC except maybe Alabama. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I think Georgia's very good. That's not a controversial opinion. Everybody thinks Georgia's good. So I think this is going to be a close game. I think Auburn comes out on top, but that is still my one because I am not very confident. At number 2, I have North Carolina over Wake Forest. And I do think Wake Forest is actually pretty good. I've been very impressed. I've watched them a few times, and I've picked them a few times. But I am switching it up now just because Wake Forest's defense isn't very good. North Carolina has a very good offense. And I'm hoping North Carolina's defense can hold them in check. Wake Forest hasn't beat really anybody that good. Syracuse is all right, I guess. And we know North Carolina is really talented. They really haven't lived up to the hype this year. Sam Howell's playing pretty good. He had a slow start, but he's playing better now. And Josh Downs, the receiver for North Carolina, is that guy. I'm a big fan of Josh Downs. And I think they're going to score a lot of points. It's going to be a shootout. The over-under 77, that's what I was expecting it to be at. But I think North Carolina pulls this one off at home. And Wake Forest's Final Four hopes are dashed. It's crazy to say that, but they're not. The best team in the ACC, I don't buy it. So North Carolina over Wake Forest, that's my lock of the week. 22% of people have picked North Carolina. I'm very confident. I think North Carolina wins that game. Number 3, Oklahoma State, West Virginia. Reason this is so low is I don't know what to think of the Big 12. It's just kind of all over the place. And Oklahoma State is 4-point favorites. And they've had some big wins. They lost to Iowa State. Iowa State's not that bad. West Virginia beat Iowa State. But Oklahoma State has wins over Texas, Baylor, and Kansas State, and we have now seen that Baylor is pretty good. So those are all impressive wins. West Virginia, they have Jared Doge. I know that's not how you say it. That's how I'm going to say it. He's not that bad. They have a pretty good defense. So I think this is going to be a good game. I don't really know. That's why I'm not very confident, even though Oklahoma State's favored and ranked 11th. But I just don't know what to think of the Big 12. I think West Virginia could easily win this game. It's in West Virginia, so yeah, I don't know. I would not be surprised if West Virginia wins this, but I think the better bet is Oklahoma State. Game 4, at the 4 spot, I got Michigan State over Purdue. This is crazy. Michigan State is 8-0 and ranked third in the nation, and they are 3-point favorites against Purdue, who is 5-3 and not ranked. And the reason for that is they did have this win over Iowa. The Big Ten also, it's hard to judge. I don't think Michigan State or Michigan are really that great. We'll see. We'll see in the coming weeks. They haven't really played. Neither of them have played very good teams. So we shall see. I think Michigan State's good enough to win this game. I don't think Purdue's that good. And Michigan State has some weapons on offense. Kenneth Walker is very good. And I think they just can run the ball. David Bell on Purdue is very good too. He will be a first, second round pick at receiver, and he's a playmaker. So we'll have to see. I'm fairly confident Michigan State wins this game, but an upset could be in the cards. But I'm not buying it here. Game at my 5 spot, I have Ole Miss over Liberty. This is a very interesting game. I don't know what the spread is here. Let's check. But Ole Miss has quarterback Matt Corral, who could be QB1 in the class. We're still figuring that out. And Liberty has Malik Willis, who could be QB1 in the class. So it's a very good quarterback matchup. I think Ole Miss has a better team. I think Ole Miss is actually pretty good. But I'm really excited to watch this game. Ole Miss is 10-point favorites. That's why I have them on my 5. And I don't think Liberty upsets them, even though their team is actually fairly good, 7-2, with a prolific quarterback. So they're not somebody you want to take lightly, but I just think Ole Miss beats them pretty easily. Ohio State, Nebraska. This is one I'm worried about. They're 14.5-point favorites, which is pretty expected. Nebraska's not that bad. It's crazy to say this because they're 3-6, but all of their losses are really close games. Lost to Michigan State overtime. Lost to Michigan by 3, lost to Minnesota by a touchdown, and lost to Purdue by 5. So we'll see. I mean, obviously, I think Ohio State wins, but if Nebraska can keep it close like they have been able to with these better Big Ten teams, I mean, anything can happen down the stretch. It's in Lincoln. So, I mean, yeah, maybe. Nebraska could pull it out. Nathan, I wouldn't be surprised if Nathan picks this one. Big Huskers fan over there. And, I mean, this is, like, prime upset territory. I know the spread doesn't look that way, but, I mean, if I was betting on this game, I might bet on the Nebraska spread. As crazy as that is. I probably shouldn't do that. I probably shouldn't say that because Ohio State may end up blowing them out. But I put them at my 5 just to kind of protect myself if that does happen. Or I put them at the 6. 7, UTSA. UTSA is really good. They got screwed in the college football rankings. They're 11-point favorites. I think they beat UTEP easy. I don't know very much about them. I've seen them play a few times, though, and they're pretty good. I'm a firm believer in UTSA. They're ranked 16th in the AP poll. So, yeah, if Cincinnati loses, they could end up being the best group of 5 team and get a big bowl appearance. So, yeah. Baylor over TCU. TCU's coach just stepped down, Gary Patterson. So, Baylor has proven they're good. I'm very confident in this. I don't even know what the spread is. Let's check really quick. Only 7-point spread. Zach Evans, I'm a big fan of his. I don't even know if he's playing. He hasn't played the last few weeks. But, yeah, he's very good. So if he plays, I mean, that's big help for their offense. What's his name? His name looks familiar. Quentin Johnson. Yeah, he's a top draft prospect too. So, yeah, they could be dangerous. I just don't see them beating Baylor. I actually think Baylor's pretty good. So I got Baylor my 8. Alabama over LSU, kind of self-explanatory. Spread is 20.5. Yeah, that's fairly simple. I'm actually going to change this. Actually, I'm going to change a few of these. Yeah, you're seeing live picks, live changes. Oh no, I want this at 8. Yeah, we're going to keep it like that. So, Oregon, Washington's last game. Here. we'll do live research here. Okay, so Jimmy Lake, Washington coach, talked about how they aren't recruiting rivals with Oregon because they only recruit smart people, so they compete with Stanford and UCLA. And I think that's insane. Washington is a better school than U of O, but they're not as prestigious as those other schools, and they don't recruit. They recruit the top talent. That's a lie. They've had top recruiting classes, and they still suck. I should have pulled this up before, but Oregon versus Washington series history. Jimmy Lake's an idiot. That team sucks. I know it's in Seattle. It's a 7-point spread. Look at this. Oregon. The two Washington, Oregon. Count them. Washington is owned by Oregon. Washington's garbage this year. I don't care if it's in Seattle. Oregon's going to beat them. And I think they're going to beat them pretty easily. I think they're going to beat them by at least 10. I think they cover the spread. We shall see. I don't think Washington's very good. I moved it down just because the spread's 7 points, but I'm very confident. Go Ducks. An upset pick of the week, like I said, North Carolina over Wake Forest. That's my pick. And I think this is really the week where I make my jump. I'm coming for you, Sean. Thank you for all for watching. If you are somehow watching this and you are not a Grind Time subscriber, please think about subscribing. It would help out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.